Today we're doing pasta puttanesca, Dan style. One of my favorite Italian dishes, fun to make, fun to eat. We're going to use about 3/4 pound of rigatoni noodles. We're going to have Roma tomatoes. I got about 7 of them. We got some hot Italian sausage. You don't have to put meat in this if you don't want, but I think it does add a lot of flavor to it. Next we have anchovies. I double up on the anchovies. I got 4 ounces instead of 2. I like that briny flavor that it gives it. So that's 2 cans instead of 1. You can use anchovy paste also if that's what you have. We have about 3 ounces of balsamic capers. I got 2 cloves of garlic. I'll show you a good trick on how to get the husk off. Then we have 1/2 cup of feta cheese. We got about 6 ounces, 1 jar of Greek Klamato olives. I have sliced them. We got 1 cup of diced onion. We got 2 tablespoons of pepper flakes. Now, if you don't want it as hot, you can use 1 tablespoon. If you want it hotter, you can use more. I like my pasta puttanesca on the tomatoey side, so I got 12 ounces of tomato paste. That's 1 big can. Now when it comes to the herbs and spices, I've got fresh herbs. I have basil, oregano, rosemary. You don't have to use fresh herbs. If you don't have them or can't get them, you can use 4 to 5 tablespoons of regular Italian seasoning. It'll pretty much do the same thing. Oh, wait a minute. Gotta have a glass of wine when you're doing Italian. I'll show you how to put this together. We're gonna take our anchovy fillets and cut them up into smaller pieces. I put this garlic clove in the microwave for about 30 seconds. I let it cool off because it does come out very hot. Once it's cooled off, you can see how easily you can get your garlic out. And it pops right out as easy as that. It's a quick, easy way to do it. Works very well. Okay, the first thing we're going to do, add a little olive oil to the pan. A little extra doesn't hurt. We're going to put our anchovies in and our garlic, and we're going to let that start to saute up. The anchovies will actually sort of disappear as they saute, but the flavor, that briny flavor, will really come out good. We've let our anchovies and garlic saute for a few minutes. Now we're going to add our onion. Mix that all around. Get that going. Sausage. We're going to put it in here and get that going. You don't have to fully cook it in here because we're going to add this to the main dish once everything else gets going, but we're going to fry it up a little bit on both sides and then it'll be ready to add to the main dish. We've had our anchovies, onions, and garlic going now for about 10 minutes. I'm going to add some tomatoes. I've chopped these up. At the same time, we'll add our Klamato olives. Mix that up. You can actually crush these tomatoes a little bit. That don't hurt. Break them down. And we'll let that fester a while. I'm going to add a little more olive oil to this. And we'll let that go for a few minutes. While that's cooking, we're gonna boil our noodles. I'm gonna put a little olive oil in here just so they don't stick together. They'll probably take about 20 minutes, but we'll get them going. I've had this on low and slow. Now I'm going to add some oregano in there. And a little bit of rosemary. I'm going to mix that around. And continue to let that fester. Now I've got this on low heat. It's been on there 15-20 minutes. I'm going to add the hot Italian sausage. And we're going to let that go for probably, we'll keep watching it, but at least a half an hour. I've been sipping on my Pinot Noir and I'm going to add a little to this. Just give it a little shot. Okay, we've got our rigatoni about done. It's been boiling for a while. We'll pull that off. We've had this festering for about a half an hour. I'm going to add our feta cheese, this crumbled feta. And I'm going to add a little bit of the pepper flakes. I will taste test this in a while to see if it needs more. And we'll keep this at a low and keep it going a while. I'm going to check one of these sausages and cut it in half just to make sure it's cooked through. Looks pretty good. I'm going to add a little more Italian seasoning to this. A little more of the pepper flakes. And then mix that around. Everything's looking pretty good. We're going to add our rigatoni noodles. I'm going to check one of these sausages and cut it in half just to make sure it's cooked through. Looks pretty good. I'm going to add a little more Italian seasoning to this. A little more of the pepper flakes. And then mix that around. Everything's looking pretty good. We're going to add our rigatoni noodles. This is looking good. Going to mix our noodles in here now. Stir them all around. I'm also going to add my basil at this time. I did cut this basil up a little bit. Mix that around. That basil gives a great fragrance. In fact, I got a little more. I'm going to put the rest of it in. And we're going to let that simmer for another 15 minutes on a very low heat. I'm going to do a little taste test here. Not bad. I'm going to put a few more pepper flakes in here. I like it mine a little bit on the spicy side, but you can do it however you choose. Maybe another little shot of Pinot Noir. Should be almost ready to go. Well, there it is. Dan's Pasta Puttanesca. Took about an hour and a half, start to finish. It's always better the next day. It's great to reheat. Dan's Pasta Puttanesca. You didn't think I was going to get through this without spilling on my shirt, did you? I mean, come on. My ex-wives always said, you're a slob. Anyway, Pinot Noir, Pasta Puttanesca. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Get you next time.